Well, today was supposed to be me filming my end of August garden tour, even though it's September 1st, so early September garden tour, because I really want to mark each month so I can look back and remember and hopefully inspire at the same time. It's raining, and it's gonna be raining for a couple of days. Tomorrow is gonna be like probably a major storm. So I thought maybe I would just sit and talk for a few minutes in between making another batch of sauce, which is exciting, and fermenting turnips, radishes, beets, all sorts of things, as many ferments as I can possibly do, because it's so easy, it's so good for you, and it lasts for a long time. So along with canning, kind of, figuring out the balance between those two things. I don't know if you can hear the raindrops. So I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about change. There's a lot of change happening in my world. The kids started school today, so we've got, between the two families, we have 6th grade, 7th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and the first year of college. And that's a lot. And it's exciting, and it's a lot, especially starting middle school and being a junior in high school. Those two things feel really big to me. And of course, starting college, that's its own thing, but it's joyous and it's wonderful. And, I have so many good memories. I have yucky ones too, but so many good memories of that time in my life. And so, and Chloe's doing great. It's like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, day 4, and she's doing great. But there's a lot of change. So Dave started a new job. He's out doing that today. You can feel the change in the air. I mean, September, it makes me want new pencils. I don't even use pencils, and I want new pencils. I can feel I'm changing my wardrobe. Who am I now? Hardcore, who am I now? My summer of growing the homestead and, preserving our food is coming to a close because I need to make money again. So that is a consideration. I have to kind of figure out, who am I now? What is my business now? What do I want to teach? What do I want to do? How do I want to show up? That's a lot, and holding a lot of space for some pretty big kid stuff, emotions, a lot going on. It's interesting, Dave and I kind of run parallel paths where he's searching for the answer to who he wants to be when he grows up. And I'm hoping the answer never comes. I'm living the question. And in therapy, she said, that's very much who the two of you are. Hannah, you're living the questions, and Dave is living for answers. And what's so wonderful about the two of you is that you can kind of cross over and offer the other person some of what you have. So while Dave is feeling really about transitioning after so many years of doing something new, and that's a lot, I'm thinking, God, give me something new. What can I do? Because I'm always searching for something new. I'm always searching for that next layer of who was I that brought me here now? So he can kind of help me feel like it's okay to have an answer every now and then, and to really choose something and pick it and do it. And I can help him understand that nothing is permanent, that everything we do is choice, and we get to change and iterate all the time. So that's kind of where we are. We went to Boston with Chloe to drop her off at college, and we stayed for a night because I wanted to make sure that she knew we weren't just dumping and running. And, I sensed that it was going to be a lot of overwhelm and that she might need some touch points during that time. And I was correct, and we gave her little touch points, and it was wonderful. And Dave and I got a night away. I take care of a lot of animals and a lot of stuff here. on this beautiful homestead that we're creating. And it was really nice. One of her friends came and did some house sitting and animal sitting, and I got to not have to take care of animals in the morning when I woke up, which was different. And I definitely missed them, but I did need a little time away. And the perspective that it kind of gave me is it reminded me how much I do. And sometimes I think I take my own self for granted. Often for me, it's that I can't see it. I can't see what I do, and I'm always feeling like I should be doing more. There should be more. There should be something else. Like, and so that was nice. That was nice to have a little perspective of like, wow, I'm like doing nothing right now. And then I got back and I was really emotionally drained. She's doing great. Chloe's doing wonderfully. Being in the city was intense at first and then really beautiful because I spend a lot of time alone, out in the garden with my animals, in the kitchen, you know, and this is where I love to be. But it also offered me some perspective that every now and then I need to walk into a coffee shop and I need to have a conversation with complete strangers, and I need to carve out time to see people, because I can get really trapped in this bubble of like, this is what I'm doing right now. And there's good parts of that. It makes me really good at what I do, but it also can, it can work against me sometimes. And so it was a really nice reminder also for Dave and I to remember that we are so much more outside of this, you know, this homesteading life and these kids, and that we can have the opportunity to just, you know, walk through a city and talk and be together. And but man, walking through a city with that man, he is, what is he, like 6'4"? He's really tall, he has really long legs, and his walking is my like fast run. And so I had to keep asking him not to run so I could like just like, or not to walk so fast so that I didn't have to run. And it was very painful for me to like consciously slow down, and then I'm still like, you know, going so fast. But it was really good for us. So there is change in the air. September, I love September. It's my birthday, Patrick, the kid's dad's birthday. It's Luke's birthday. It's Chloe's birthday in September. It's so much. September is so much. It's the feeling of newness. It's the feeling of like, yes, we are about to have a seasonal change. Autumn is coming. It's school starting for a lot of people. For, you know, for me and for my kids, this is when our schooling starts. Yeah, it can feel like the most beautiful beginning and ending all at once. And there is a tendency that I have to get overwhelmed in that, and I am trying to be aware of that. I'm like, okay, this is how it can be. This is how I have in the past responded to this, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to use overwhelm as leverage. I have the capacity now for calm and peace and simplicity. So I don't want to leverage overwhelm. It has been a driving force in my life for a really long time. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go one step at a time here. Like, I have this thing, like I had to have it all figured out by the time the kids went to school. I needed to know what I was doing next, what would be the next thing, how am I gonna make money now, you know, what am I gonna do with my life? Not that I really want the answer. And how have I iterated? Who am I now? And I just want to linger there. I just want to linger there and be there as the tomatoes simmer. There's so much food to still deal with. And, you know, I know that something's coming. I know I'm doing something for autumn. I know it's going to be so much fun and beautiful to gather people again into space together. I miss it. And I'm, you know, there's part of me that just has to be able to flow into that now in a new way, in a way that I haven't done before, because it's usually like jump, overwhelm, 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 overwhelm. more, prove. And I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that. So instead of like giving myself this like firm deadline of like, this is the kids are in school, so now you must, I'm like, okay, what are the things I'm thinking about, and what could happen here to make that transition for me feel really good? And so there's some spaces in our house that need to be looked at. And I can teach right alongside that. I can teach that. I can teach what I'm doing as I'm doing. That's what I've always done. And so, it is, what's percolating is definitely, sacred roots around the season. And as autumn's coming, it's such a precious time. I'm like, all right, I can flow from here without having to have this like harsh ending. I can flow from one thing into another. And what might that look like? So I am, of course, asking more questions, just wanting to live inside of those questions for a while, and really naturally let sort of that intuition or those downloads come, as I know they can come, when I get still and I listen and I open to listening. I've got my 18 pounds of tomatoes cooking up, and they're gonna become, let's move over here. They're gonna become the marinara sauce from the book Food in Jars, Preserving in Small Batches Year Round. I am doubling this. This recipe is amazing. This could be tomato soup. This could be so many things. This book is so worth it. Marissa is absolutely amazing. I was just thinking I need to send her a message and tell her how vital she has been to my journey. I also want to show you, after making a video about like overwhelm, like, yeah, you can take a pretty Instagram picture, but oh my goodness, like it just is life. So much life. And I really like having a clean table, and it just is tough right now. Here's stuff. He makes little piles here for when he needs to bring stuff down. I make little piles everywhere. Things I need to plant, herbs I'm drying, burger buns that Chloe sent back with us from college, clothes that need to be put away, paper that came from my Thrive Market box that's going into the compost, things that are drying. So you'll see this beautiful picture on Instagram of these beautiful herbs. And here's my computer, and here's forms from the kids' school, and here's jars that I'm gonna bottle in, and a notebook, and a teddy bear who we're giving away that Chloe fixed the neck on so we could give it away, and a cat tree that I swore I would never have a cat tree that needs to be moved upstairs, but it can't be moved upstairs until I deal with all the stuff that came from my studio, which, let's just go over there if you want to talk about overwhelm. Let's just go. My studio, which became a temporary bedroom when my sister lived here, that is now being moved back downstairs, and clothes that need to be returned that didn't fit Chloe, and all her plants are here. And we're thinking, like, with some ideas about what to do here, but Dave and I need to sit down and talk. And so basically we have this beautiful room in this house that looked like this, just crazy. And the kitten keeps playing with potatoes, and that's really cute. And for the most part, my pantry's holding up, which is amazing. It's much, and it's much a lot. And so it really serves us. I like living in a very clean, orderly space. And it's hard. It does not come naturally to me. I have to work at it. Dave has his little spots where he sticks things, and I have spots. I have like basically the rest of the house. And it's much. So that pretty Instagram picture brought over, into the place where I take most of my pictures because the sun is so good. There's also this reality that life is full and there's a lot going on, And sometimes my table is clear, and I really love when it's clear. And sometimes it is the picture of a really full, beautiful life. So just wanted to show you that. I just wanted to touch in, since I wasn't getting out to that garden. I have cardboard boxes sitting out in the rain right now because we're going to put a lot of cardboard down to try to get rid of weeds for next year and create a few new garden spaces, especially around the chicken coop. I want to plant a bunch of things around there, give them little hideouts, and also some edible foods that I can use. So there's fun projects and a long weekend coming. So all this to say, I see you if you're feeling it, if you're feeling that like September is here and change is upon us, and that strange place of like something ends so something begins, something dies so something is born, right? So the season, that very specific like fall, leaves turn brown, falling to the ground. You know, you look at your plants and you see the seeds starting to come, the flowers turning to seeds, and those seeds dropping to the earth. And we know that soon they are going to, you know, in a lot of places be covered with snow, and there's this dying off, but those seeds go into the ground. I can attest to how many tomato plants are growing all over my property from those seeds from the last season that went into the ground, and they waited, and they became. And so, you know, there's that is inside of us, right? So what seems to be an end, really, it's this beautiful cycle. And that's what I wanted to remind myself of. That's what I needed to process today. And so that's what I'm also offering to you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.